Hi ladies! I was recently tagged to make a video of my 2012 20 favorite things to use in my crafting, and when I first heard that I thought, okay, well that will be, pretty easy, and it may even be hard to think of so many items, but as I was making the list I realized that it was hard to narrow it down to just 20 because I do use so many things. I think we all do. But I think I've narrowed it down to my 20 favorite, and of course after I make this video I'm going to think of something that I needed to include and didn't, but I think I've got a pretty decent list here. So let me go ahead and share these things with you, and if I have them here, I try to get them out so I can show you what I mean. But I'm sure most of you are familiar with all of these things that I'm going to name. Now my number one thing, of course, is lace. And lace has been really my absolute favorite thing to work with this year. I've tried to use it on almost every project that I've created, not just because I have to or because I need to, but because I really, really want to. I've really enjoyed making lace flowers, using lace in ways that I haven't used it before to make pockets or to, create borders on things or whatever. Lace is my number one favorite this year. I've been super obsessed with it. I've always loved lace, but I've just been really obsessed with it this year. So lace is my number one. My number two thing is my hot glue gun. I don't have that right in front of me, but hot glue gun is a must. I use it a lot. I use it for almost every project I make. My third favorite thing is rosettes. I love using rosettes, and I have one here that just has pink hearts. It's a new one I have. It's really cute, so I want to use it for something. But I especially love using just whites and creams and baby pinks, and I use them when I make lace flowers. I use rosettes underneath them, and it just makes it look really pretty. So I love rosettes. That's my number three. Number four is paper flowers. I love paper flowers. Any kind of paper flowers. My favorite, I'd have to say, are from Wild Orchid Crafts. Their quality is just unbeatable, and I've tried to get, similar flowers, and you really just can't get them anywhere but Wild Orchid Crafts. So that's going to have to be my number four, is just paper flowers. Any paper flowers I love. My fifth one is going to have to be doilies. I've loved using doilies and just different pieces of, vintage trims and things like that this year. And this is a doily, I think, from Roxy Car 11. So this is one of the doilies I've been hoarding from her, but that is on my list. Now, my number six, it was kind of hard to narrow down, so this is kind of like a big category. It's really anything metal, including Tim Holtz metals, Artie Cake charms, industrial sheet collection from Michaels, anything metal. I've loved using metals, and this is like my favorite one from the Artie Cake. It's just a big, doorknob thing. But yeah, I love all the new metals they're coming out with are just amazing. Tim Holtz has come out with some new amazing things. Artie Cake is just, it blew my mind when I saw that in the store, and some of the things that they're coming out with are just unbelievably gorgeous and so fun to use. So that's going to be my number six. My number seven is the adhesive that I really like to use, which is Fabri-Tac. And it's by Beacon, and I've had a couple of people ask me what I use. This is my favorite. The big bottle is kind of pricey. I want to say it's like $16, but if you use your coupon at Michaels, you get it for 40% off or 50% off depending on the week, and it does last quite a while if you get the larger bottle. The smaller bottle is $10, so I always try to get this one because it lasts a lot longer, and then when you use the coupon it takes off, even more money. So Fabri-Tac is on my list because it's my favorite adhesive. Any of the Beacon glues are awesome though. They do the, what is that called? The Zip Dry is from Beacon. 3-in-1 glue is from Beacon. Any of the Beacon glues are really good. Fabri-Tac is my favorite. So that's number, what am I on? 7. Number 8, pearl trim. I love using pearl trim, especially flat back pearls and the teardrop pearls and things. I've been gifted lately with some wonderful racks that have had some of these pearl trims in it, and I've really enjoyed using them. Number 9 and 10 are my trimmer and my scissors. Ooh, there's some lace. My trimmer is number 9, my scissors is number 10 because I use my scissors for everything. I trim a lot of paper with this, but I actually picked up a tip from Miss Juliana. I love Vintage Scrap. If you're going to distress the edges of something, you don't always have to use your trimmer. You can just cut it, because if you're going to distress it, it doesn't matter if it's perfectly aligned. because when you distress it, it's going to get better. So I've picked up that tip from her, and I've been using my scissors a lot more. But those two things, I mean, I just can't craft without scissors or my trimmer. So those two are definitely on my list. Number 11 is, actually, I guess I can talk about number 11 and 12 in the same breath because they're right in front of me. Number 11 is Prima Paper, which is inside here. I've been obsessed with Prima Paper. I always have loved it, and this year especially, I think almost every project I've made has used Prima Paper. And number 12 on my list are these little envelopes from Recollections. They're at Michael's. They're like $2, and the reason why I like these is because when I start a project, I get out the paper line I want to use. I get out one sheet of each from that paper line, because a lot of times I'll buy 2 of each, or if it's the romance novel, I'll buy 6 of each because I'm afraid it's going to run out and I'll never get it again. But what I do is take one of each from the paper collection, I put it in this envelope, and then as I cut into it or use pieces, I put all the scraps, I put everything back in this little container. That way I know this all goes with the paper line, so when I go to do another project or something, I've got it all there already. It also kind of keeps things balanced. I don't know why, I've just always been really organized with my paper. And if I use a sheet from the collection, I prefer to use the whole collection before I go into the second sheet that I have. I don't know. I know it's weird. It's kind of OCD, I guess. But I don't want to go into my second sheet of the paper until I've used all of the first collection, unless I'm doing like a really special project and I need it. So this kind of keeps me organized. And I have a lot of these envelopes because, you know, when I use the paper collection, all the scraps just go back in here, and that way I know that this is the collection. So this has been really important to me this year in 2012, is getting things organized with these things. And like I said, these are the Recollections Memory Keepers, and I've got the tag on there. That's why I picked this one. And they're at Michael's. I think they're like $1.99. All right, what else? Number 13 is my Prima Distresser. It is very dirty and messy and has hot glue all over it and fabric tack all over it, but I love this thing. This is my favorite tool. I use it for almost everything I make. So that's number 13. Glimmer Mist. I've been using a lot of Glimmer Mist this year. So that's number 14, and this is Marshmallow. This is my favorite color. I've mentioned it in a video before, and this is my last bottle. My old friend used to own a scrapbook store here in Vero, and we ordered like 6 bottles or something from her distributor a couple months back. Well, actually, it's probably been almost a year now. And we ordered like the last ones that they had, and so I've been hoarding like my 3 bottles forever, and I'm finally on my last one, and I'm really sad. But anyway, yes, Glimmer Mist. Love Glimmer Mist. What am I on? Was that 14? Okay, number 15. Anything that I can alter is going to be my number 15 spot. So like, you know, wooden boxes from Michael's, any of the wood items that are alterable, love those. I've been really buying a lot of alterable items this year. Number 16 is modeling or texture paste. Doesn't really matter which one. I guess I'll lump them into both, or I'll lump them both into one number because to me I use them for the same thing. The modeling paste is a little bit stiffer. It gives a little more height to your projects depending on the brand that you use. Texture paste, you know, it does similar. It's very similar to me, but with the texture paste, it's almost a little softer, and it isn't as stiff as this. So I think I mentioned before in a video, I really don't know the difference. It's just whatever I happen to have, and I use them for the same purpose. So I've loved using the texture, the modeling paste this year. Really been loving using that. So that's on my list. Next thing, which will probably be on my list every year, is just regular white acrylic paint. Love white acrylic paint. I use it for everything. I go through dozens of bottles a year. I use them to paint the base of my projects. I use them to tone down colors. If I want to use a paper line and it's too bright, I use it to tone down colors. I use it to add kind of a shabbiness or, you know, little flecks onto projects. I use it for almost everything. So love white acrylic paint. Any brand, doesn't matter. Number 18, I'm going to say, is my Tim Holtz products. I still love to use the distress stains. Now, I use the Picket Fence distress stain for the same thing I would use my white acrylic paint for, as far as toning down papers and things, but this is just really handy and easy to use. Love the distress stains. Love the Tim Holtz distress inks. Love the Tim Holtz distress stickles. Anything Tim Holtz I really love, so that's number 18. Number 19, something I've been using a lot this year actually, just recently, are acrylic sprays. These are the ones I have, and then the wheat sprays that Heidi have sent me. I've been really into the acrylic items this year. Love the way that they look. So that is my number 19. And last, but certainly not least, something I've been using a lot this year is rhinestone bling. Love, love, love rhinestone bling. I'm trying to get it on camera here. This is just from Michael's, and I got this in the jewelry section, and I've been using it on a lot of different projects because I love the way it just, I don't know, it just makes things pop. It makes it shiny, makes it pretty and girly and princessy, and I love it. So that's on my list, and that is everything that I have. I don't know who I'm going to tag yet because I need to actually go through and see who's already done this. I know Sabrina's done it, I know Miranda's done it, I don't know if Juliana's done it, but I know she's been really busy lately, so I don't want to tag her. So I will have to think of a few people, well, 1 or 2 people that I can tag for this. So I will list below who I tag, and thanks guys so much for watching. I hope that everybody has been having a wonderful weekend, and I will be back soon with more projects. Thanks guys, bye!